It's a what's in and what's out edition of Talkback Feedback. Cecil the Lion is in.
You open up about animals. You people are embarrassing. With all the crime going on in Hazleton and Wilkes-Barre, and you concern yourselves with animals, you guys are pathetic and embarrassing. I'm embarrassed to say I'm from Luzerne County and watch your lousy news station.
But Hitchbot the robot is out.
What a bunch of pathetic lowlifers we have in Pennsylvania, especially Philadelphia, destroying a robot that went around the globe. They should be ashamed of themselves down there. They made that robot trash just like their city is, trash.
We are in.
I just got back from D.C. and was watching the local news down there. And I want to tell you guys what a great job you're doing, because those people down there, man, your newscast was just boring as anything.
But then again, we are out.
Every time I turn on the news or the television, all we hear right from the beginning is sports, sports, sports. This area is obsessed with sports. The whole world is falling apart. I mean, isn't there more important things to talk about?
And one of us is really out.
John Myers, you look like an old man with those glasses. Try contacts. You look like an old lady.
The glasses make him look like an old lady. Be part of the in crowd. Call Talkback 16 at 1-800-228-WNEP, and maybe next week we'll give you a little feedback. Welcome to Talkback Feedback. I want to introduce you to a very valuable member of our team. This is Bill McClowski. He's really the producer and photographer and brains behind the whole operation of Talkback Feedback. But Bill's on vacation this week, and I did not want to even do feedback without him.
I just want to say that I'm glad when I see Rob Lowe on, and I think he does a good job, and I appreciated the fact that he told me when to cut back my roses. And I thank you, and I hope we have more of Rob.
Well, actually, it's Rob Rave, but a lot of people get those two confused. But the caller from Selinsgrove changed my mind. I mean, a lot of people like this segment, too. And we have a lot of great photographers here at WNEP, plus really, I mean, how hard could this be?
Oh, yes, we're calling again. Your train in the backyard is not running once again. Why do you even have it back there if you don't want to run it? Our little boy just loves that thing, but it hardly ever runs anymore. I guess it's just like all the newscasters. It's wore out.
Go. In fact, I was taken not only by the enthusiasm of all the photographers, but also their great ideas on how we can make our little segment just that much better.
About the apparently kid is back. Did you ever happen to think apparently we're sick and tired of hearing about him?
Enough's enough with this Ritter kid. There's other news to report. He's been on the news way enough for a little kid. Find something new.
In fact, I'm really excited about the future of Talkback Feedback, with or without Bill McClowski, whoever he was. You too can call Talkback 16 at 1-800-228-WNEP, and maybe next week we'll give you a little feedback. Welcome to Talkback Feedback. Molly and I have a little vacation time coming up, so the bosses want me to break in some new Talkback Feedbackers. You know, somebody to take the reins when I'm not here. We tried out several potential replacements. Now it's up to you to let us know who you like best.
Watching the Home Shopping Network is more interesting to watch in the news between 4 and 5 o'clock, because your news sucks between 4 and 5 o'clock.
Well, my mother tells me the 4 o'clock news is the best newscast of the day.
I'm missing Clay Lepard, one of your fine reporters. I certainly hope he is still with your station.
Clay who? Never heard of him.
Thank you, Tom Clark, for your bit of optimism about the upcoming warmer than usual winter. We really needed that.
Heads, tails. Yep, mild winter.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and kiddies of all ages, it's hard to believe that Talkback 16 is 25 years old. It premiered on Channel 16 around this time of the year back in the year 1990. Well, here's the 25 years of Talkback. Let's hope we have it for at least another 25 years.
So I guess that's happy birthday to us, and happy birthday to you. And even happy birthday to, what's his name again? So, tell us who you like best by calling Talkback 16 at 1-800-228-WNEP, and maybe next week that person will give you a little feedback. Welcome to Talkback Feedback. Well, despite my best efforts, we just can't seem to keep politics out of feedback.
Very disappointed about the biased reporting that Channel 16 is doing. Last time Hillary Clinton was here, it was all over the place, and it took up a lot of time on the news. There was barely a minute, maybe two, about Donald Trump being at Lackawanna College.
Barely a minute or two? Biased? You know, I checked our newscast from last Wednesday when Mr. Trump was in Scranton. We did a live report at noon, a live report at 4, 2 live reports at 5, at 6, and at 7, 1 at 10, and 1 at 11. That's 10 reports on Mr. Trump's visit. Of course, when we do that, we get calls like this.
These are all up in arms because of Mrs. Trump doing plagiarism on Mrs. Obama. But yet, Newswatch 16, don't you do it at 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 in the morning again. Don't you guys repeat the same thing over and over that you said before? Hypocrite.
And calls like this.
Can't you give us a break on Clinton and Trump's name and reporting on them all the time? I'm so sick of hearing those two that there's no way in hell I would vote for either one of them.
You know, maybe the caller from Watsontown has a point. A little loose with the H word, but a point nonetheless. Maybe we should take politics out of the news entirely and out of Talkback Feedback. But if we did that, what would you have to talk about?
I'm just calling to tell Tom Clark the shirt he's got on looks so nice with them next to them petunias.
Well, that works, I guess. You too can call Talkback 16 at 1-800-228-WNEP, and maybe next week we'll give you a little feedback. Welcome to Talkback Feedback. You know, one could say 2016 has not been the kindest year here in America. In fact, one did say that this week in Talkback 16.
I see the nastiness of both politicians. He picks on her, she picks on him, whether it's national or it's local. Can't they just get to the issues and say what they're going to do or what they feel should be done rather than trying to tear each other apart? It's really sad when the country comes to this.
So sad, in fact, that Talkback Feedback is doing something about it. While the presidential candidates may be going negative, we are officially going kinder and gentler. Those critical calls, that was so last week.
You and your staff are doing a terrific job. And the young lady that screens the calls and listens to all the cranks, including myself, God bless you, honey. Keep up the good work. You're doing a good job.
And the feeling is mutual. When you call and compliment us, it puts a smile on our face.
It was really wonderful to have Brittany Boyer this morning give the weather. She's clear, concise, and she gives you all the facts so that you understand them perfectly.
So who needs negativity? Who needs criticism? In fact, who needs political calls at all?
If Donald Trump pulled his pants down on national TV, I'd still vote for him.
You too can call Talkback 16 at 1-800-228-WNEP, and maybe next week we'll give you a little feedback. Welcome to Talkback Feedback, and thank you for calls like this.
You should do Talkback 16 in a half-hour segment. So many people love it.
Well, you're right. Many people do love Talkback 16, and many of us love Talkback Feedback. But there is an insidious force creeping into our beloved franchise, threatening everything we hold dear. And that destructive element is politics.
I'm calling about your Talkback 16 callers that you are airing. I can understand that Channel 16 is Republican because everything you aired on Channel 16 was negativism against Hillary Clinton.
Wait, what? This week we're a Republican station? Because I seem to recall earlier this month we got a whole bunch of calls like this.
Very disappointed about the biased reporting that Channel 16 is doing. Last time Hillary Clinton was here, it was all over the place, and it took up a lot of time on the news. There was barely a minute, maybe two, about Donald Trump being at Lackawanna College.
Remember that one? So the Republicans think we're biased, and the Democrats think we're Republicans. To me, that means we're doing something right. And that recognition will mean, for you, a much more enjoyable Talkback experience.
Sometimes I accidentally put on your Channel 16 news early, and I get the Talkback voices and the callers, and it's really disgusting. I wish you would cancel it.
Or not. Just in case we don't cancel it, you too can call Talkback 16 at 1-800-228-WNEP, and maybe next week we'll give you a little feedback.